Well, hello ladies and gents, my name is PepperBelly and I'm bringing you guys some Battlefield 3 gameplay. Why? Because why the fuck not? I mean, I played a lot of Battlefield 4 and obviously in my last video I was talking about how much it's really just a rage-inducing experience because of all the issues that plague the game, and I decided to go back and play some Battlefield 3 and reflect on the past. And after playing Battlefield 3 again, I couldn't help but realize how superior this game is in terms of performance and playability in compared to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 obviously has all the newer features and the better maps and the Levolution and the way nicer graphics. I will definitely give DICE credit for that, because after looking at the overall texture quality and the graphics of Battlefield 3, it doesn't even compare to what Battlefield 4 has done recently. Battlefield 4 just looks absolutely gorgeous in comparison, but everything else falters, unfortunately, which is a damn shame, and hopefully EA and DICE can rectify these issues and unfuck this travesty and make it an actual playable great game again, because Battlefield 4 does offer some nice assets, some nice things that Battlefield 3 just does not have, and although Battlefield 3 is a phenomenal game, it just doesn't really compare to the things that Battlefield 4 has and offers. Yet, it plays and runs better, and that alone makes this game superior in its current form. Now, I've been enjoying the shit out of Battlefield 3. As you can tell, this compilation of footage is actually over the course of like a 5-hour playthrough, a 5-hour session or whatever. I was just gaming out like crazy in this game, and the entire time I was not raging, like, at all. I had like, nothing was making me angry. It was more like I was giggling like a little schoolgirl, having a blast playing this game and smiling and just having a good time without getting angry, because the game didn't have any problems or issues that happened that would make me think that, okay, this is bullshit, like, this shouldn't have happened, I'm getting really mad right now because this guy killed me in a way that shouldn't work, or I shot this guy like 50,000 times and he didn't die and he just turned around 180'd and shot me with a pistol and I died. No, things like that can really aggravate players. If there's one thing I can criticize about Battlefield 3 compared to Battlefield 4, it's definitely the suppression system. This thing is just abysmal. I don't even, like, once you play Battlefield 3 again and realize just how ridiculously crazy it is to be suppressed by someone and unable to shoot back effectively at all compared to Battlefield 4, it really puts things in perspective of how bullshit that whole system was. Now, I understand suppression. Like, I get trying to make it a thing where, yeah, if I'm being fired at by a salvo of rounds, you know, a whole bunch of burst fire rounds or LMG rounds or whatever, being suppressed by the enemy, obviously, I'm going to be less likely to stick my head up and return fire effectively. But the reality of the situation is, in real life, if I can still point my weapon at the enemy and I pull the trigger, my round is still going to hit that fucker in the face. That is fact, right? Like, just because I'm being shot at isn't going to make my weapon suddenly veer off. Like, the round is going to suddenly just deviate completely off its current trajectory, which just isn't... that doesn't happen. It doesn't compute. That is not a real thing. Rounds don't suddenly just, even though my sight is aligned on target, my bullet isn't going to just suddenly veer off, completely deviating way off my sight picture just because I'm being shot at. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That's like, it's kind of like the whole random spread issue, where if I'm being shot at, or if I'm shooting at somebody, like Blacklight Retribution for example, if you want to reflect on that game, when they had random spread, people would try to criticize me saying it's realistic if I would say that, or people saying, yeah, random spread is realistic. Fuck, no it isn't. Random spread is not realistic at all. What is weapon spread, first of all? I'll actually make a video dedicated just to that, explaining what weapon spread actually is in reality, what causes it, what it actually is. It's not randomized, it's a very consistent thing, which I will discuss in another video in the future. Now, as it stands right now, like, that whole suppression system was just ridiculous. It completely turned me off. Although it's not as bad at times, because there are moments where I don't feel like I'm being horribly suppressed when I'm playing this game, and I'm able to still fire effectively back at the target, as long as you can kind of get yourself some cover, and even if you are being suppressed, just kind of keep your head down until that person stops shooting and starts reloading, and then, you know, problem solved, start shooting back with some accurate fire. But definitely Battlefield 4 does this better. That's just one thing I'm going to go ahead and say right away, because it's far superior system in terms of suppression. Suppression systems are stupid to me. If you're gonna have a suppression system, make it so that, you know, it's like my screen maybe gets blurry, and just find a way to make it impact my ability to fire back, but not impact the actual spread or accuracy of my weapon. Perhaps in a way that it makes your weapon shake more, but where you're pointing the weapon. So if you are able to counteract the shaking of the weapon, you can still fire the weapon accurately. That is more realistic that way. It's kind of like those who are calm under fire are still able to fire back, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And here's a nice little spree I do with the Humvee. The guy bails out, driving me in here on a suicide run, and I managed to actually hold my ground for a while and take them all out. That was pretty fucking cool. You know, moments like this, Battlefield 3 is just great, and I really want to see Battlefield 4 flourish to the extent that Battlefield 3 has. Battlefield 3 was a huge leap and bound over Bad Company. Everyone knows Battlefield Bad Company was released, and it was a pretty, I mean, even going back and playing it now, it's like, wow, man, like, this is Battlefield back in the day. Like, I can't even, the shooting mechanics just don't feel anywhere near as good. Like, every weapon was fully automatic. Shooting just didn't feel as nice. Like, it wasn't as fluid as I'd like, and the spread, there was kind of like a random spread kind of thing going on as well, and it was just a very annoying kind of experience, even going back and playing it now, realizing that semi-automatic weapons like the M1 Grand, or M14, or M21, or whatever weapon they have in Battlefield Bad Company 2, just the semi-automatics actually felt more superior, which is just, it's kind of weird, where Battlefield 3 kind of evolved all this into a nice experience, made everything feel more authentic, and just play a lot nicer. And Battlefield 4 obviously expanded on these things, but unfortunately because of netcode issues and all these issues that are still persisting, it really taints the experience, which just sucks because Battlefield 4 can easily be something great. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see if EA and DICE can actually rectify these problems. This is a quick compilation of some Battlefield 3. Probably won't be posting more of this in the future, unless of course I play it and acquire some more great footage. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining me today. My name is PepperBelly, and I will see you guys on the next one.